Hey, comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, you're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to do group number 4 for Road to Comic of the Year 2014. But first, everybody, we got to get the results for group number 3. Now, I hope you all are enjoying Road to Comic of the Year. It seems like I'm getting a few more votes each and every grouping that I do this. And yeah, this is kind of a fun event for me because this is like a year-long event in the making to get to that comic of the year. So now, going back to your guys' votes for group number 3, here was our comics. If you guys forgot, the first one was Avengers Undercover issue number 1. The next one was Green Arrow issue number 30. Miles Morales, The Ultimate Spider-Man, issue number 6. Life with Archie, The Death of Archie, issue number 36. Spider-Man 2099, issue number 2. And Original Sin, issue number 5. So there was your comics that could be possibly nominated for Comic of the Year and also get that wild card important spot to stay alive. So, based off of the votes this week, it's another close one, guys. So here we go. So with no votes whatsoever, and I expected this one, and every other book got votes, but unfortunately, Avengers Undercover got no votes for Comic of the Year or being nominated Comic of the Year. And maybe that's why it got canceled, because nobody was reading it. So, sorry, Avengers Undercover. At least Mike Spider Slayer liked you. Alright, so next we're going to go on to the comic that got the second least votes. And I was actually kind of surprised by this one. I thought maybe more people would have read about it, but maybe not everybody knew about it. And that was Life with Archie, issue number 36. Yes, the death of an iconic character in comics history, and surprised that it did not get more votes than this. But unfortunately, sorry, Archie, no compassion for you, buddy. You're out. All right. So the next book that didn't make the list this week, and that looks like it was... Oh, yes, unfortunately, it's going to be Miles Morales, The Ultimate Spider-Man, issue number 6. Didn't make the cut. Wasn't even close, to tell you the truth. All right. So now we had a clear-cut winner this week, guys, and it had to be people that were screaming for this for a while now, for this series to get nominated for Comic of the Year, and it had to do with Jeff Lemire's run, and it was Green Arrow issue number 30. That's right, guys. This is your comic nominated. This is your nominated Comic of the Year. This makes that list. So congratulations, Green Arrow issue number 30. A lot of Green Arrow fans, Jeff Lemire fans, are going to be happy with this result. So he gets thrown into that mix. Now, where we had the tie is we had the tie between Original Sin, issue number 5, and Spider-Man, issue number 2099. It's up to Mike Spider Slayer once again this week to make a decision on what book stays alive and what book goes in the garbage pile. Which one am I going to pick? It was a hard decision, guys. I really enjoyed both comics tremendously. Original Sin is that series that delivered each and every week. Had some kind of surprising tale there. Kind of got Marvel off the hump of bad events. And Spider-Man 2099 was a newly released 2099. A lot of people wasn't sure what to think of this particular series, what to think of Miguel O'Hara, and the issue actually put the series back on the map again, and it had a lot of emotional beats. So, tough choice here, but I had to go to wrong. Spider-Man 2099. I gave it the wild card pick again for that reason. You're resurrecting a series that's been gone since the 90s, and it's a hard thing to do to get a bunch of new readers on board with a series where readers are not familiar with. And I think Peter David did a very good job here with, again, emotional beats with Liz Allen and Miguel O'Hara in this issue and touching on certain subjects. So this is why it will get the wild card round. So there you have it, guys. So your nominated comics of the year so far, just to recap, is Superior Spider-Man issue number 30, Death of Wolverine issue number 2, and now Green Arrow number 30. And your wild cards are Miles Morales number 1, Green Arrow number 1, the villain, the what's it called? The hologram issue, whatever it was called, and it's a Future's End issue. And the next one is Spidey 2099 issue number 2. So there's your wild cards right now. So now we're going to go on to group number 4, which I think has a good mix of comics here. Some books that might have never even thought of being running for possible nominations for Comic of the Year. And then there's some really good books in here that I think might just blow this competition away. So the first book we're going to talk about is Edge of Spider-Verse, issue number 4. This was my number 1 pick a few weeks back when it had to do with Patton Parker. He was this weird kid that did these science experiments, and he wound up turning into a crazy, like, spider creature. The writer on this was Clay McLeod Chapman. The art was like, had that horrific feel. It was really creepy. Had to do with the month of Halloween in there. Great issue. Really fun issue. Probably one of the best issues that came out of Spider-Verse, in my personal opinion here. And yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. So if you want to vote for Edge of Spider-Verse issue number 4, please vote now. All right, next goes to an annual, and this was Superior Carnage issue number 1. This was a surprise type of book for me. I did not expect it to be on my list, and it was that very horrific type of feel as well in this issue. This book focused on the Carnage symbiote, just a little bit of it, taking over this particular professor in the beginning, and wound up going from host to host to host until it wound up finding Cletus Cassidy again once again and taking possession of him. And it all started with that little blob of symbiote. So yeah, interesting stuff there. I really enjoyed this issue as well. Again, if you guys want this to be nominated for Comic of the Year, go ahead and vote now. Next is another annual that I really enjoyed, and this came from DC Comics, and this was Earth 2, issue number 2. Yeah, this was the secret of Thomas Wayne, his origin story, where he came from. Tom Taylor wrote this book. He actually is now writing Superior Iron Man, also wrote the rest of Earth 2 on top of it. This story was really well done. Really enjoyed it. Loved telling the story of Thomas Wayne here. I remember when I actually bought this book, I was not expecting an annual to be so well done, because most times annuals are just filler stories, got nothing to do with the main story. But this one really had to do with one of the main characters that's in Earth 2 series. And it was so well written. So guys, if you want this to be nominated Comic of the Year, please go ahead and vote now. All right, next on the list is a newer comic, maybe from a couple of weeks ago, and that was Fantastic Four, issue number 12. Got to fit these new ones in here too, because we're coming close to the end of the year. And this was the one where we had Spider-Man do an intervention with Johnny Storm to try to get Johnny Storm back on page with his family and try to rescue his family. The artwork is really well done. I think James Robinson, that used to write Earth 2, writing this book, has done a great job at bringing this series back to life again, even though it's being canceled. I think coupled by the artwork with Leonard Kirk is phenomenal as well. By the time you got to the end of this issue, we found out you saw Hawkeye from Heroes Reborn brought into the universe, and we wind up seeing Doctor Doom back to his old tricks, and you also get to see Iron Man from Heroes Reborn get thrown into the mix at the end of the issue too. Really well done issue. Again, it was #1 on my countdown a couple weeks ago, and if you guys want to see this nominated for Comic of the Year, please vote now. All right, next we have the heavy hitters, I feel. And this one is going to Batman issue number 28. This is a secret glimpse into Batman Eternal. I remember seeing this cover. I didn't know what to expect here. No one knew what to expect from Batman Eternal. And this whole story was dedicated to seeing a glimpse of what Batman Eternal was like. And Scott Snyder, I think, wrote this particular issue. The artwork is not done by Capello, but it was done by, I'm trying to see if I remember. I can't see. Oh, Dustin Nagiven. I think that's how you say it. But nevertheless, the story was really well done. You get to see the introduction of Bluebird in here as well. Try to give you a good picture here. Yeah, if you guys remember this. So awesome story. I remember I was totally impressed with this. And I was so excited for Batman Eternal. And now, unfortunately, I don't read Batman Eternal. Kind of bored with it. But, you know, for hardcore Batman fans, you can't not stop reading it. But this was a great issue. Got me really excited for Batman Eternal. So if you guys want to see this nominated for Book of the Year, please vote now. All right. And last but not least, a book that was on the countdown, #1, which was a long time ago. I want to say at the beginning of the year. And this book was released back in, I just want to see if I can find it real quick, if I can find a date. And I know the suspense might be killing you. No, I can't find an actual date on here, but it is Forever Evil, issue #6. If you guys want this book nominated for Comic of the Year, please vote now. This book was really awesome. They had the whole Justice League invade the Watchtower, trying to find out what was going on, trying to rescue Robin throughout this issue. I think David Finch did the artwork in this particular book. I remember we get to see Alfred from the alternate Earth get killed like it was nothing. He was gutted by Manta. Right away, you're just like, oh my God, this issue's balls to the walls. And all of a sudden, you get this whole battle erupt between the whole crime syndicate. And remember, Captain Cold winds up freezing Johnny Quick's leg, and he shatters his leg. And then you find out the revelation of who the man under the mask was. And it was Shazam, but the backwards Shazam was the Mazas, you know, and it was Lex Luthor alternate Earth. And I remember when I read this issue, I was like, oh my God, I am blown away by this issue. And this was a great issue. Probably better than issue 7 by far. I thought this was the best issue of the series when I read it. So, again, guys, if you want to vote for this to be nominated for Comic of the Year, please vote now. So, guys, there you have it. There is your results for group #3. You have the books for group #4. Put in those votes. And, guys, as always, thank you for watching Comic Book Corner 2.0. And I'm hoping you're enjoying Road to Comic of the Year 2014. See you next time, fans. Take care. Bye.